Hey. Um, Welcome back to the Trinity Continuum Aberrant Entelechy Archive game. I'm Nate, and we also have Tash and Nick. And I thought before we launch right in, I might just give a brief recap of where we were at last time, and then I guess let's just jump right in. So we have our two protagonists, Tilly Agent Faint Wright and Colin Comet Metier, who are the newest members of a 2-year-old initiative called Project Utopia. They took part in the World Crime Task Force, which was a global strike meant to, crush crime, I guess, to cut off, let's say, transnational criminal enterprises at the knees. Um, they arrested a kingpin and an underworld figure, and they had some pretty cool action scenes that I think went for pretty much our whole session. But I think that was probably the first time that I ever um, played a game where a whole session was all combat, but I was actually really enjoying it the whole time, rather than, wow, when are these guys going to run out of health? It was, yeah, like I think I like action games now. Um, and the last thing that happened before we finished up was one of the other members of Team Tomorrow, the director of it, actually, Cestus Pax, the shining paragon of the project, um, uh, seemingly shrugged off the fact that he'd caused a bunch of casualties, both criminal and, well, very nearly civilian. And if Comet and Agent Faint weren't there, who even knows what might have happened? And that was where we left it. So I thought maybe we might just, before we launch right in, just get to meet the characters a little bit more as well, and just yeah, maybe talk about cool things that their characters did last time. Would you want to go first, Tash?
Yeah, happy to. So last time was really fun for me playing Agent Faint. Um, I got to jump out of a building over the banister. I didn't think to look where I was going, and I didn't really consider whether I'd survive hitting the ground at the bottom, but um, turns out my density is good enough to get me there, which was really exciting.
With minimal
Saved a
injury.
busload of innocent people,
You don't have to be
which
dense to jump off a building, but it helps.
Yep, dents in brain, dents in body, I guess. Yeah, and then saved a busload of innocent bystanders. So I'm pretty proud of that one.
um, could we also just, because I realized we didn't even say that last time either, just run through kind of the gist, I guess, of what Agent Faint's powers are too?
Yeah, absolutely. So she erupted in a way that is mysterious to her. She can't remember the circumstances of that, and she's hoping to find it out. Her powers are related to that lack of remembering. So she has the ability to phase and move through uh, solid objects. She can cloak as well and become invisible. And she also has the density. So she can move across that whole spectrum from moving through walls and being insubstantial right through to being rock solid and capable of making large craters at the bottom of long drops. um, so, yeah, I think that's what I'm saying is that it just sort of messed with her head. Her brain at the time couldn't couldn't function in the change of phase, and she doesn't remember. That's what she assumes anyway. But until she finds out what happened, she probably won't know.
We'll just have to see. And what about Comet, Nick?
Comet. He's just your average, ordinary Aussie guy who can fly and run really fast.
Yeah,
That's
we can all
essentially
do
all he
that.
can do. He had fun catching the bad guy last time, taking a bullet, then catching the other bad guy, and stomping on a car. That was great. I'm a simple man with simple needs. I erupted somewhere in a tropical jungle with giant psychic apes, I'm sure. They may not have been there, that may be a figment of my imagination, but nonetheless, I erupted and saved people's lives. And it's at that point I realised, hey, I can fly, and I can carry a plane. This is great. Also, what are those monkeys doing? But, yeah.
Bad monkeys, bad monkeys. Yeah, and that is definitely a mysterious set of circumstances which will be investigated. Probably,
no one expects the monkeys.
Yes. In future stories, probably. Unless maybe, who knows what might happen in this one. I'm trying to remind myself not to think that I know what's going to happen either. So
yeah.
Who knows?
I will be surprised if Cestus Pax unzips his flesh suit and out steps a giant monkey.
That would explain so much. Wait a minute. No, it doesn't. Okay, well, I feel like I'm about ready to roll. So let me just pull up the last of my notes. And we're going to pick up the next day. So it's pretty early in the next day, and you are flying out to Washington, D.C. You haven't had that long, so we just kind of ran through what everyone's health situation is like just before the game started. And Comet is back to fighting shape.
One bruised. Yep.
Oh no, bruised. So nearly back. And Faint is the same as well, right? Bruised, or probably kind of sore ankle still is what.
Yeah, putting my feet up really on the flight over.
Yeah. So let's kind of take a quick look at Comet first. As a former special ops person, you'd probably be used to quickly ferrying between missions, getting a little bit of R&R kind of where you can, really. Mm-hmm. What sort of things would Comet do to rest and debrief after ops, or before being ferried off to whatever his next mission is? And then the leading question there is what did you do with the rest of your day last night after sort of after all that wrapped up? Like, probably medical attention.
Yes, the first aid is really important. After that, it would be trying to cool down. So presumably there is a bit of have a drink, sit somewhere quiet, maybe just some alone time, have a shower, wash the blood and sweat and grime off me. Mm-hmm. Try and catch some shut-eye in between missions and nurse my wounded shoulder. Yeah.
And I reckon that, that even, coming from a life as a soldier, there's probably a whole heap of adrenaline that would be going through your body and then crashing after that with something like, flying around, getting shot, stopping cars,
bit of processing going on.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone would just kind of shrug that off and then get back to work the next couple of hours.
Probably a lot of thinking about what on earth Cestus Pax was doing.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not used to violence on the battlefield, but that seemed wrong. Uncalled for, perhaps.
Uncalled for. I like that. And what about Agent Faint? What would she be up to? She definitely has not done something like this in her life, I would say. She probably had some training before the mission.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that military background. So I probably would take my cue, though, off my colleague. I mean, if he's not hanging around with me, what am I going to do? I'll hang around by myself. I think I'd probably review the media that was picked up across the course of the mission. I'd be really interested in checking out what they're saying about Pax, because I did observe sort of firsthand, and as much as I can without sort of getting him in trouble, or if that's even possible. I would probably be checking in with our handlers just to see the status of the mission, if they had anything for us to kind of might give me a hint. I think I really want to work out what's caused this behavior, because it's out of character, and I need to know. I need to feel like I'm supporting my teammate where I can.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I'm probably not as relaxed.
Yeah.
Still pretty wide.
Okay. Well, I've got a couple of questions on that. First up, you probably might not have had a ton of chance yet to try to get answers on Pax. He kind of left the scene pretty quickly after all of that, and you certainly haven't seen him back at the where you had been kind of gathering for this mission, which isn't a Utopia facility. That was like, it was probably even like a Coast Guard station in Miami. So it's sort of, it's full of a lot of other people, not a lot of kind of time to say, so what the hell just happened there? But when you say kind of review the footage, would you mean the footage that Utopia was recording during that time, or like the actual media, sort of what the media might be discussing online, on TV, all that sort of jazz? Oop, I think you're muted. Yep.
I think I'd do both. But I'd probably focus in on the headlines. It's only a short amount of time. I'm not gonna obsessively go through everything, but I'd definitely check out the major news outlets, what the headlines were, and see the difference between how I remember it and how the media remembers it.
Totally.
But there is also that doubt in my mind. Like, did I see, like, was Pax really behaving that out of character? And, was the heat of the moment? I haven't been in that situation a lot before. Is that just how people do that?
Yeah. All totally valid questions for her to be asking. Could you give me a roll?
Also checking out the camera angle.
Yeah.
Like,
I did not get my good side.
Which side do I lean next time?
True. Well, I reckon that might call for a roll to your kind of perusing of the media.
Yes.
You give me a culture roll, so that's the skill. The attribute, I would say I could probably be convinced for composure, in that you're trying to kind of get to the heart of the matter, or probably quite as easy intellect for you. You're kind of studying what's there and saying, was that what I thought? Is that reasonable? Is that, kind of, a little bit more of a critical eye to it. So it's up to you which way you think she would go.
Look, I'm happy to go with composure, because I think part of it might be that post heat of battle kind of. I've just been through what I've been through, and I'm working it all out. So that's 4d10. So I'll just hit that one.
Awesome.
Greater than 7?
Yes. Yep.
Let's see how my syntax goes.
0.
Oh, no.
Okay. Well,
I just enjoy looking at myself, I guess.
Pretty much. Got way
invisible.
too
Oh,
wait,
I
I
took
think that
out
was me. I think that was me.
lots of guns though. Lots of guns.
True. So we should mark down the momentum too. I think I got rid of it last time, but we were on 4 from last time because we earned 2, and I forgot that that we start with 2 as well. So, but now you get another one for that failed roll. So it's
That's
still
a
good.
botch, isn't it?
Sorry.
That's a botch.
Oh, it's a botch. I've never done a botch in this. What does botch do again? Sort of
Dramatic
momentum wise,
failure.
I feel like that gives even more.
She's been
I
looking at
can't
different
turn
invisible
the
woman.
TV on.
Interesting. Okay. I'll have to look up what that means for the momentum in a second, maybe when we have a quiet second. But for your momentously bad roll, I would say you probably don't realize right away, but your kind of media consumption has kind of raised some flags with somebody and an organization of some kind is flagging what you're watching and sort of how you're going about it, what you're interested in, which may come up in the not too distant future, but you have no idea of that.
No, I'm just mindlessly going, approve all cookies.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. She probably really should know better. Yeah.
The IT guy at Project Utopia is going to be so
Yeah.
upset with me.
I love it so much. Poor IT guys. She definitely spends a bunch of time going through that. And I will give you for free, even though that was a fail, that it's pretty clear that the media are showing a lot of good footage, like a lot of kind of news reporters, people on the street with camera phones, but nothing from the Utopia footage that the licensed people who were recording that hasn't been released to the media yet. So it looks like the media know something happened. They probably know the gist of it, but there hasn't been like a big public announcement and a release of, here's all our footage, probably giving them time to, to cut it up nicely and make it show what they want it to show. But I can't give you any more with that role just yet. So, but you're, where you're going now, this next morning, is off to DC to kind of debrief properly with Utopia and the other partner organizations that you were there with, which will definitely give you a chance to try to dig into what's going on more. One other question for both of you, we sort of mentioned it last time, but how involved do you think your characters were with kind of the rescue and cleanup side of things after that, with helping to clean up that mess, mop things up, probably get a lot of snaps from the media with that as well, and also kind of mechanically to kind of lower your collateral pool, which I hadn't actually marked on the sheet, but that was kind of building up over time. Mostly not so much because of you guys, but definitely with some of Pax's actions, that was building up the collateral pool. And I'm not going to have it clear away just yet. That's something that often happens sort of after the fight, it sort of clears back down. But in this case, and I think probably quite a bit, because sometimes I'm a mean GM, I guess, it'll hang around not as something that'll trigger and suddenly make an explosion, but can lead to, social consequences or, bad PR. That's the collateral damage that can happen if you don't kind of fix that up as well. So that's up to you whether you both want to kind of, be fronting to sort of to fix some of this up, or whether you just are too busy with these other things, which is also entirely valid.
I don't think Comet would have been inclined either way. It would have been more, the mission was to get the guys. The guys were gotten. If there were other guys that needed to be gotten as part of the mop-up, that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly he might turn the car back over onto its wheels to get it off the street.
Yep.
But that's probably about the extent of his cleanup. Like, unless the superior officers said, "Hey, we're going to hang around and clean this mess up," he probably wouldn't do anything more than that.
Okay. So that sounds like, probably not a role for it, really. Like if he's not intently kind of spending time and effort on his own. What about Agent Fane?
Well, I think the major damage that I contributed to was the hole in the road, and I don't have a tarring truck with me, but I think what I found from last game was I fairly quickly at that wrap up point, I was choosing either to chase after the bad guys or kind of look after that human collateral.
Yeah.
And so I did that. So I think if I was to help out on the cleanup in any way, it probably would have been from that human side. So I would have hung around to check on the individuals that might have been impacted, bystanders, even, checking in on people, the first responders, that sort of thing. So I don't know how much help I would be on the physical cleanup side.
No, that's great. That's really great. And
I don't want to do anything ingenuine either.
Totally. No, I think that works really well. And I feel like that sort of thing, which you even mentioned last time she was doing that, I reckon warrants a role, probably some kind of, social roles, social skill of some kind, for her to be kind of smoothing things by the fact that she's there. There's a whole bunch of, shots of her kind of helping people. The average kind of the tone of everyone around that is hopefully pretty positively inclined after this role. And unless you botch it again. So how about...
Well, without trying to argue unnecessarily for the things that are going to give me the more dice, I kind of genuinely think that maybe integrity and presence, it's my, I'm sitting around, I'm staying back past the cleanup, and I'm using my presence as a way to sort of, resolve any negative feelings. Alternatively, I do have persuasion, but I feel like that probably doesn't apply very much because I'm not, I actually saved people. I actually pulled them out of the burning wreckage. I'm not trying to persuade them of anything. I just want to make sure they're okay.
Yeah, totally. And I think probably integrity works really well as well, because that is also the skill for kind of, hiding or covering or how you feel about things, or resisting people trying to get things out of you. And if you're a bit kind of concerned about how that whole thing went down, integrity makes a lot of good sense. So I reckon, roll that. So roll presence.
Let's see how we go. Oh no!
No, really? Oh, gee. All right. Okay, that's interesting. Technically, we are full of momentum right now, so I can't give you any more.
Can I do that?
But
can I spend one?
Yes. I mean, I need to remember exactly what spending momentum does. Let me get to it.
Clearly Pax is the bad apple that's spoiled the bunch, right?
Clearly. Let me pull it up. Momentum. Okay. So So momentum is shared with everyone when you want to spend it. You talk about that with everyone. It can be spent to add dice before or after the dice are rolled. So if you would like to spend some, that can give you some extra dice, which hopefully might make that not a failure. And also, I was going to say just before you rolled that this roll will have 2 enhancement because of the fact that you both went and actually did the mission, saved the day, didn't kill anyone, didn't, destroy tons of things. I mean, Cestus Bax did, but you guys didn't. So if you get a success, you'll actually get a pretty good roll. You just have to get a success.
Okay, so do I roll additional dice now for that momentum?
Yep. So it's up to you how much you want to spend. Also up to Nick as well.
Okay, Nick. I don't know how much this is going to contribute to the long-term enjoyment of the game. We've maxed out on momentum. I'll probably fail a bunch more rolls. How much do you think?
Is it 1 die per momentum spent?
Yes. Yeah.
So, go nuts, Tash.
You can spend up to half.
Look, let's do 3 then. Let's
3.
roll 3. That'll save me having to retype.
Go for it.
And
nice. Oh my goodness. Did you really?
I really.
Okay. That is another failure. But I guess on the positive side, that gives you back another 1 momentum, so you only lost 2 out of it.
2 actually, because it's a botch.
Oh no, the second one's not a botch though, is it?
Isn't it added to the first one? So the whole thing is still.
Oh yes, true. Wow,
1 big botch.
Cool, I guess.
6 dice, huge botch.
This is amazing.
Look, get them out of the way on these trivial rolls, and then you're all set to go when it matters.
Exactly.
How do we put roll 20 in dice jail?
Restart, I guess. Okay, so interesting. Okay, so that didn't end so well. So I'll say probably while Comet is elsewhere, kind of being a badass in the shower with like the blood washing off, being all grizzled. Ooh.
Yeah, I'll do that whole lean against the wall with one arm and let the water go over the top of my head.
Nice, I like it. Perfect.
I utter the words clearly visible to the cameras and the microphone. I don't hold the hose, mate.
Oh God! No, I have to hate her.
That's a botch, isn't it?
Yeah, that is a botch. I mean, there have been a lot of botches going on in that case. Oh wow! Oh, now she's the worst. But yeah, basically, I think that is kind of in essence what the botch is. She, does not do so well in front of all the cameras. There's people who are, there's even like I'd say protesters. So people who have just suddenly appeared out of nowhere saying, like, stop Utopia stealing American sovereignty. Basically leave our criminals alone. They're our problem. We'll deal with them. We don't need you. And Faint is not reacting well. So whether she's just, she's saying the wrong thing, or there's a camera and a mic in her face, and she's not reacting well. So she's pretty stressed. This is all new to her. Probably Utopia, if they weren't all kind of turned around by kind of the way that mission went down, probably would have worked hard to make sure she didn't have this camera in her face right away, but it just didn't work out well. There's probably your contact, Soren Vu, is probably, freaking out right now and going, oh God, I'm not going to sleep tonight. So,
I'm probably not used to being told that I did a bad job.
Yeah, true. So yeah, she okay, she hasn't had a great night then, I guess. Like after all of this. So interesting. I didn't see any of this happening, but very good. um, and so I guess by the next morning, when you're shuttled off pretty quickly to a small plane ready to leave and fly up to Washington, I would guess probably Agent Faint is not in the best place. When I guess you're all
Having to review my PR 101 training.
yeah. Jeez, I thought I aced this last time. But yeah, so you're both on the plane, basically getting ready to leave. Kind of final safety checks. What are you both kind of doing on the plane? You're probably, like we said, mental state not super fab. What about Comet? It's probably mainly just you two there as well, and more support staff and admin people and all. But it's mainly you two.
Well, I mean, are we heading into a mission? Or
No,
just heading...
heading into basically debrief. Potentially more missions after that. Basically.
But initially, we're just going to debrief. In which case, I am totally having a beer on the plane, and I'm encouraging Agent Faint to drink. Because I've seen that shell shock stare in soldiers before.
Oh yes.
And you know what helps that? Booze.
Yep, this game is all about positive lessons for the teens.
Look, I gratefully accept the camaraderie is probably the least hostile of the people that I've been engaging with.
So, if you both want to, even have some, player-on-player conversation, you both probably know each other somewhat well after, both kind of coming up in the project these last few months.
On the grounds that I'm big-hearted, I will in fact ask what's wrong.
Ooh. Excellent.
Oh, I sip my drink. I just don't know where that one went wrong. We were fine. We were going well. We didn't kill it. We hadn't actually done that much damage. We'd got our man, we'd got our guys, both of them, and then I just put my foot in my mouth. I just don't know what happened. Lights got on me and I froze. I would have preferred them to be guns at that point. Oh.
Oh.
Look, she'll be right.
Leaning into trope, Nick. I like it.
Just don't worry about the media. The media will take care of themselves. It wasn't on us anyway. It was Pax. He screwed the pooch.
Oh, but see, he's got a reputation that's going to protect him, right?
Yeah, sure.
He had a bad day. This is one of my first missions out, and this is what, first impressions.
You're overthinking it. The public will think whatever they think.
I probably am. Hand me another drink.
We're here doing a job.
What is this stuff?
Weak as piss, but it's all good.
Yeah, what are you drinking too? I'm very intrigued.
I'm sure it's a Budweiser.
Oh, God.
Doesn't like
American beer. Oh, I can't say that joke. It's probably too rude.
Maybe it's a Foster's.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they specifically got that for him. No, this is not right.
I know, we lost a viewer.
So, if you'd like, something that I think we chatted about last time was bonds, which is kind of the social kind of mechanics of the game. I reckon if you want to kind of explore that, we could probably have both of you roll to build a bond of camaraderie, which kind of means that you two are kind of bonding over sort of what you did yesterday, we did well. Like, it's all seemingly kind of fucking up now, but we did well. We did the right thing. We're kind of, we're on the same page about it all.
That sounds great.
Yep. And it looks like it's all just
and I can
practically
botch that too.
Yeah, well, oh God, don't say that. And also, I reckon it makes good sense because it's totally sounds like what Comet would be like as well. That, that big-hearted and kind of, Aussie dude is very much like, why don't we just drink about it? So I'm all for that. Mechanics-wise, all you have to roll is one of the primary or most notable skills used during that period of cooperation, plus your composure. So I reckon surely that would actually be a pretty good roll for both of you now.
Yeah. Athletics and composure, I can do that.
I did a lot of close combat.
Yeah, you did. So if you both want to roll that and tell me what your successes are, let me just read the feature of it. So in situations where the bond participants are working together and at least one of them is using the primary or notable skills, you can donate successes to each other as 1 point enhancements. So basically the best manifestations of this role are built using diverse skills, but so you can give people successes when you're both kind of, doing what you've been kind of building a team with, which is, 6 successes all up. Okay. That's pretty great. There is, I maybe should have mentioned that earlier, but there is a drawback of if anyone fails a role that is enhanced by that bond. So when you donate the successes, but you still fail, then you basically, and they actually use the phrase, lose the vibe. And if you botch, it's, the bond is completely wrecked. So, hopefully you're going to be a well-oiled team from now and actually be helping each other out rather than tearing each other down. We'll see what happens there. So I reckon, over the few hours that the flight and then, landing and all the rest takes, you probably drink a little bit too much, even though it's early in the day. Kind of talk about what you did well, sort of, bond more over that whole thing. But eventually, unfortunately, the plane has to land and you have to get back out. And you are in Washington, D.C. You're ferried off to the J. Edgar Hoover building, the large brutalist home of the FBI, where, as I said, everyone is kind of meeting to debrief, to, talk about what happened pretty much. So you push past dozens of flashing cameras, shouting the reporters, and you make your way into a conference room full of some brightly colored utopia outfitted people, some dark suited G-men of various stripes. You're probably not even sure who they all are or what acronym they're from, and some raised voices. One voice that you can hear that is trying his best not to shout is the director of all of Project Utopia. So the whole organization, not just this, little kind of 21st century superhero team. Justin Larajon, and he is, as you walk in, you're catching the tail end of him trying to explain why Cestus Pax is not here as well right now. So he's saying, as much as you'd like to believe that the USA is the center of the universe here, Tom, we actually have a lot of plates spinning here right now. Pax has responsibilities elsewhere. I'm not really able to divulge what they are right now, and then that's when he sees you both walk in. But we are committed to this debrief with all of our stakeholders here. And I'm sure we can answer your questions and we can all continue on the same page. And then that's when he stands up and welcomes you both in, kind of empties a few seats for you in this, big round table, and sort of, starts to introduce you, starts to kind of, get you shaking hands with a whole bunch of people with a whole bunch of names, none of which seem entirely happy to see you, or maybe kind of they look a little bit too happy, like they're ready to, jump down your throat. How do you both react to this probably not entirely comfortable situation for both of your characters?
I think I've learned to keep my mouth shut over the last few hours. So I'm going to let the people that can talk do the talking. Being polite, shaking hands, firm, assertive, but I'm going to try to just be a visual support at the moment.
Nice.
What's our role here exactly?
Are you asking me, or are you asking other people?
Yeah.
Pretty much to essentially to kind of answer questions, but also to be filmed answering questions, and to PR, but also basically the project is working with a whole bunch of law enforcement organizations, and as you probably both also know out of character too, there's a lot of bureaucracy in large organizations, and when they work together, they still want to feel like they know what's going on, like they have input, like all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. And as I'm not even going to make you roll, as you definitely have already felt, the government organizations that are involved in this whole thing are wary. So they're still not sure about this whole thing, this new group that have decided they're going to save the world, and we would like to work with you and help to arrest a bunch of criminals. They need convincing still, and this is kind of the project's chance to show we've done something amazing. Let's not talk about sort of the end of what happened there and then our little media showing, but yeah, this is how well we did. Why don't we continue? We can do more. So it's PR, but it's also kind of PR towards these people that you want to keep working with.
Well, with that in mind, then I will be reserved but polite. So if they shake my hands, I'll be shaking back, give a nod and a smile. I'm not going to volunteer to speak other than g'day, because that'll probably...
Nice.
But yeah, I can quite happily stand back and look official, but polite and reserved.
Okay, sounds good. I won't make it one roll. Sorry, but not speak up.
I'm not a speaker.
I know. I'm hoping for more botches myself. So okay, so they don't kind of throw you into a shark tank just yet. It's sort of there's kind of logistics kind of discussions, and kind of people trying to pat each other's back about we did this, we've done this really well. I think the on the ground support was excellent, but then someone speaks up from a little bit kind of further back, and she's a younger woman, Middle Eastern appearance, wearing a dark suit, very much like government agent uniform, with her hair pulled back quite tightly, and when she speaks, it's quite soft, but people, or her people on her side of the table, kind of quiet down when she does speak, and she starts off speaking to the director, Justin Larajon, but quickly kind of comes to look at both of you while she's speaking, and she asks, in your opinions, how do you feel that this operation went? Not just on the grounds of and she kind of, you can kind of hear the sort of the quotation marks around the words when she speaks. Not just around your crime fighting goals, but the long-term effects of this operation. And then she stops, like Justin's about to speak, and she stops and says, "No, I don't just mean, ending crime or stopping the scourge of drugs. We've just had two foreign nationals essentially take the law into their own hands on American soil. And it sounds like you want our whole security apparatus to be fine with that." Some people on her sort of side start to kind of talk, and she says, "I don't know about you, but I'm not sure that I'm fine with that." How would you feel, Tilly, if I can, if you had had American superhumans march into Canada and start laying down the law? And she's looking right at you then, and no one else is speaking right now.
I don't know if how I feel about it really matters. I mean, what matters is the decisions that are made in this room, and what's all agreed. And I think that I think that the people that are exposed to that are allowed to have their feelings about it, but I don't know if it's really my place to have feelings about it for other people.
She has a kind of unreadable expression, and she says, and so you think that what Utopia did last night was a complete and definite good for you? That's what you think?
Feeling about whether something was good and it objectively being good is a different thing. What I know is that when I was in the situation, we were committed to minimizing any danger to the people around us. And when I did observe people in harm's way, I stopped my mission and I pursued supporting those people and removing them from danger. Not jail, danger. It was like a little jail, a little yellow jail.
A little jail of danger.
Oh dear. But yeah, so I feel that in the situation, I made a choice, and that choice was to protect the people around me.
Justin kind of grabs your shoulder and starts agreeing with you. Starts saying, "Yep, that's exactly right. Agent Faint or Tilly, if I can, is exactly right. The project's number one priority is peace and safety for everyone." Unfortunately, that is when that agent cuts back in and says, "For everyone on that operation, is that true?" And she looks back at you. She looks at Comet, says, would you mind if we played something right now? And someone starts kind of fiddling on a laptop or like a tablet, and a screen on the other side of the room lights up, and it looks like drone footage of Cestus Pax running, not like superhumanly speed, but like running like a linebacker, and slamming into a big black car and sending it careening into the side of the casino. This is the footage from yesterday. It doesn't look super great. It's obviously it's like handy cam style kind of drone footage, but it is definitely Cestus Pax smashing the hell out of a car, sending it across the street, people screaming and ducking and running. She looks back at both of you kind of questioningly. Is there just complete silence? Because that is fun as well.
Well, I can speak. Comet will...
Oh, if you want to. Like, yeah. Justin is happy to as well if he needs to.
That footage is only showing part of the story. We do not know what was in that car to cause Mr. Pax to act in that manner. It may very well have been people that were quite well armed and can pose more danger to the public if they just wantonly open fire on someone for whom bullets bounce off. It was bad enough when they were shooting at myself and Agent Faint here into the crowds, because criminals will do that. We do not know what was in that car to provoke that response from Mr. Pax.
That is a good answer, Nick. I like that. She kind of pursed lips, nodding, but again, super inscrutable expression. She leaves the footage running, and then someone kind of starts scrubbing forward and scrubbing back, saying that this looks to me like the actions of someone drunk with power and with no care for the rule of law or a responsibility to keep the public safe. I don't know that I believe that you can justify this kind of action, and especially not someone who, as you say, couldn't possibly have known what was going on. And she looks back at the director and says, I really think your man Pax has a case to answer here. Is this why he's not here right now? And again, Justin sort of starts a spiel, starts to try to explain, no, not at all. Just very busy. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that right now. And he starts kind of going off Comet's lead and trying to say, this is not enough footage. We can't possibly come to any conclusions from this. What are you talking about? And
it's very much picking out one piece of footage out of a long career of his work. And so I'd look at the man by his work rather than one moment.
Oh, that's a really good point as well. I reckon, would you like to make a roll on that? I reckon a social roll. I think you could probably...
She giggles nervously.
Persuasion for that, though, I think would work pretty well. And I'm happy if you want to if you want to lean towards presence or even composure, because you're trying to sort of keep yourself composed during this, would work for me if you want to.
Can I lean on intellect for the reason that I'm trying to find logical arguments when these people are really using emotive sort of evidence and language?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I like that a lot.
Yeah, yep, okay. 4?
Yep. Plus your persuasion of 2, which is actually a pretty damn
Yes.
good roll.
If it doesn't turn out great, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
Oh man.
Yes.
Okay, 3 successes.
3 successes.
Not too bad at all. I reckon, if you'd like, I feel like it's probably slightly breaking all the rules of the game, but I'm fine with that. You can, if you want, can spend those 3 successes to beat the difficulty and kind of, quiet down this line of questioning, basically, like, them trying to essentially kind of, I guess, browbeat the project into, present Pax now, we want to speak to him. Or if you want, you can technically, that would make you kind of fail that roll, but you'll get a momentum, but spend 2 successes on a kind of, I guess, optional stunt where you are, you're kind of, trumping their emotive stuff and, getting them more emotional, and they will be unwittingly kind of playing their hand. But that means that you're not able to kind of stop them from really, really kind of forcing the project's hand into kind of bringing Pax into it, or like admitting that, Pax is perhaps in the wrong. It's up to you, and I'm prepared for both of those options.
Well, it's hard because I think Tilly kind of does think that Pax was in the wrong.
True.
So, and I want to know what went on just as much as them, but I don't want that to get in the way of the project doing its good work. So I think at this point in time, it definitely needs to be a bit more of an internal thing. So let's do what we can to try to protect Pax for now, because we don't know what's going on. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, awesome. Sounds good to me. So you're basically choosing to succeed in that role and, stop them from being able to kind of, publicly, well, somewhat publicly kind of question Pax in this. Awesome. So yeah, you keep kind of, stonewalling them and, just answering their pushing with logic and, well, we need more facts, we'll investigate this further. We will, we'll try to determine what happened. We'll get back to you. So marvelous. She's sounding more and more like certain politicians in Australia. This is fabulous. I don't like this game anymore. Can I also have a technology roll from one or both of you? Probably technology and I'd say cunning or intellect. Does Comet have anything in that, Nick?
Yeah, he's got cunning. Yep.
Oh, but no technology. Okay. Well, it's not that hard a roll, so I'm sure.
I'm happy to take it. I've got 2 dots in technology.
3 successes.
Nice. Okay. Well, both of you are very sure right away.
2 successes.
Okay, nice. So, you're both quite reasonably sure that that footage, which they're kind of scrubbing through now, and also as you watch, it's now kind of, you know, slow-mo of Pax grabbing or trying to not throw overhead, but to kind of, you know, swing and throw that bus at the second car, which sped off. That's the one that Comet wound up catching. So as you're watching this footage, which pretty clearly shows Pax kind of tossing a bus of innocent civilians into danger, you are quite sure that that footage is definitely from your drones. So that, yeah, that was lifted from the Utopia drones, which were kind of following your every movement. But you're not aware of that, you know, that footage being shared around. It definitely wasn't shared with the media. Not entirely clear how these people got this footage or whether they're supposed to, even though it looks like Justin is, you know, not bringing that up. You definitely haven't been CC'd on any emails that have talked about sharing this footage. So you've kind of got question marks around where they got this. But
I think Tilly would be taking Justin's lead. I'm not going to I'm not going to bring it up if he doesn't. Like
Mouth shut, stare blankly ahead.
Yep. Yep, that is entirely fair. So so after sort of, yeah, the discussion is, yeah, keeps kind of, you know, dragging on, and you keep kind of, you know, fighting off. You see Justin on his phone at one point, sort of, you know, like he's texting someone sort of down under the table pretty much. And then within a few minutes, there is a bright flash of light sort of under with the door to the hallway. And then the door swings open to reveal another Team Tomorrow member, Jennifer Slider Landers. She's super young, so she's probably like about the same age as Agent Faint, really. And she's, you know, like college student, quite, you know, kind of like the America's sweetheart of Team Tomorrow. She's, you know, very, you know, too good to be true kind of person. She's, you know, extremely, you know, cute and fun and idealistic and all the rest. And she can teleport. So she slides places, I guess. She comes in and is followed by another member of the project that you've probably met at times. She's definitely not a fighter. She's a talker. Ichiko Iko, a Japanese woman in like a very kind of light pastel colored, like well-made, but, you know, not in your face kind of suit. And she is known as basically the negotiator for the project. She is extremely kind, charming, calming, friendly. She's the person that you bring into the room when you want everyone to get along well. And she comes in and apologizes for the interruption, and starts kind of chatting with people. And within seconds, the temperature in the room drops down to something a lot more manageable, and everyone is, you know, not yelling at each other, getting along quite well. And after a short time, they wind up getting more back into like the logistics and the admin of, you know, of how they're going to run the next operation. We think we're going to take on the Italian mafia next. I think, you know, this is going to be great. Let's go, team. and eventually you two are able to kind of duck out, kind of like have a break, break for lunch or, tea and scones or something. And you head out into a kind of courtyard, kind of open air area, where you can both debrief from the debrief. How are the characters both feeling?
I feel like I did a bit better in that one. I think I need a beer before my next PR outing.
Lessons for life.
Cause of and solution to all of life's problems.
I'm hearing that.
So, is it just me, or did that look like Project Utopia footage?
Oh, I think it was definitely Project Utopia footage. I'm like, I assumed that bus had got there somehow. But to see how the bus ended up, I'm so glad I took the time to kind of fix that one up.
Yep, something was up Packer's ass.
That's it. But if that footage gets out, I don't know if it's really going to be it's going to really do much for us.
Well, who's us? Project Utopia will have to deal with their problem, basically.
Well, I'd like to get to the bottom of it. Do you think that we could? I don't know. Where would we go? Who do you think we should talk to in this case?
Not the old woman. I reckon she's doing something really weird. I don't think we could talk to her successfully.
Maybe Justin. I mean, he's got to front up to these things, and if he's got someone rogue, that makes his job a lot harder. It'd probably help him out if he had someone trying to get to the bottom of it, which I'm sure he probably does already. But if we're sent out on missions with packs, that kind of makes us pretty close.
Well, we've been sent out on one mission with Pax, and he royally fucked it up.
Well, he had to compete with you. It's got to be tough.
Obviously. However, we may never be on a mission with him again. But yes, I think Justin's definitely the only person in Utopia we really know. He's probably pretty desperate.
While you're still talking, the door swings open to swings outward, and out comes Slider, the teleporter from before. She kind of like blows air through her lips, like, and leans against the wall, kind of near you guys. You probably have met her a number of times as well, a bit of, kind of training, team bonding kind of sessions. But, she's also super busy all the time because she's a teleporter, which is probably the most useful power in the world. And so she's kind of doing a lot of things all the time, constantly. And so that's probably why she looks really wrecked right now. She sees both of you talking. You probably kind of stop when she comes out, I assume. Mm-hmm. She kind of looks over and beams a smile at you and says, long day, hey?
Yeah, it's a bit warm in there.
Yeah, I that's not really my thing. Like, the politics was the arguing. I'm just in here to, like everyone here, save the world, do good things. I don't really want to be in those rooms, and most of the time I can avoid it. Looks like you two couldn't avoid it this time, though, hey?
No.
Oh, no.
I feel a bit blindsided, to be honest.
What happened? I only caught the end, but it looks like looks like yeah, the government types are, not playing nicely with us.
Look, it just seems like there was a bit of extra work that Pax did in that mission that just probably didn't need to be done.
She kind of stops and says, "What do you mean?"
Well, we had our primary mission sorted, moving off onto the tertiary mission, and I think really all we got from Pax from that round was a bit
Trouble.
of disruption and rubble.
He went off tap. He went off mission. He might have had reasons for it, but he didn't hang around to tell anyone.
Kind of like look in the hallway and things happen.
In the middle of combat, you can't account for everything.
There's probably stuff that we didn't see. We were up on top of the building.
She looks like kid who has just seen their parents kind of putting Easter eggs out at the front of their door. She's like, what? No, what? No, what are you even talking about?
It's probably nothing. The politicians will sort it out.
Yeah, that's it. Like you say, we're just here.
Dragged in
Same
to
as you.
make a scene. Someone has got an
Yep.
agenda to bring down Project Utopia. We're just the chumps who got called in this time.
That's it. Rolling us out. Well, we'll be back on mission any moment.
Although, and I will lean in very close to Slider's ears here, they did manage to get Project Utopia drone footage somehow.
Her eyes go wide, and she goes, "What? So what? Like they're framing us? That like our own government, like my own government. That
may not be framing, but maybe there's someone on the inside.
What? So they faked footage of Pax doing something wrong. That's
May have done.
She's kind of spiraling basically. She's like, oh god, my government, my what? So is the project doing wrong? Is the government framing us? She's way too
calm down, love. Calm down.
Young for that.
There's lots of things that could be happening here, I guess.
Have a dim sim with some sauce.
I love Comet so much.
What on earth are you putting on that dim sim?
Tomato sauce, obviously.
Do Americans even do dim sims?
Probably
I don't know. I knew that it was invented in Australia.
But perhaps they're catering to the famous Australian utopian guy.
True.
Who put in an order on the plane when he was drunk. Dietary requirements. Dim sims, tomato sauce.
3 dozen dim sims. I like it. Well, now we all know what Nick would do if he had such power.
Damn straight.
So, I don't know if you want to kind of go any further with Slider. She's definitely kind of shook by just this whole thing. She's not inclined to believe that Pax is doing anything wrong, but she's also not going to tell you that you're lying. But
what I'm going to do is, again, being big-hearted, offer her some finger food, calm her down with this is all political shit over our heads anyway. Don't even worry about it. How long have you even known Pax? Do you know him? We've only met him once on a mission and half a dozen times before that in passing.
Yeah, she says, "Oh, I've known him personally for," and she probably counts down to the year and the month, but I've but I've had his poster on the wall since the project formed 2 years ago. Like, you know, he's my hero and the hero to, like, you know, millions of people. And you can tell that's why she's kind of almost kind of staring at you whenever you start to say that he's, you know, he's maybe done something bad. But yeah, she explains, yeah, she hasn't known him that long, but, you know, she knows what she thinks of him.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say after that?
So she doesn't know him personally so much as she's worked with him occasionally, like we have.
Yeah.
So not friends,
Yeah.
co-workers, and she's a big fan of his, which is fine.
Mm.
It's fine. I'll make sure that she understands that we are not accusing him of doing anything wrong. We were on the mission. The mission went how the mission goes. Certainly. Military guy, I'm used to things going differently once you get into action. There's no reason to think that Pax didn't actually have good reasons in his mind for doing what he did. And by that,
Slider.
can I just say that if anyone is mucking with his head, for example, you know, there could be things going on in his mind that we are not aware of. Yeah.
But he's not our hero anymore. We're a member of his team, and we've got to support him. We're just like him.
Wow, man, you guys are like shaking her worldviews right now. that and Comet's point about, you know, if someone is doing something to him, has got her definitely shaken.
I'm more worried about the mole inside Utopia.
Well, yeah, that is something. So are you saying that to her as well?
Yeah, just on the down low.
Okay. She's definitely kind of stopped cold by that as well, and she starts asking, like, do you think it's, you know, it's a like a tech person or you know, one of our I don't even know what they're called, but, like, you know, the kind of, you know, drone operators, kind of, not engineers, but one of our tech guys. She probably doesn't know what they're called either. So, like, is this, you know, like one of our, you know, tech operators?
No idea. It's someone who has access to the footage. May not be them. Could be someone else entirely who just, you know, found where the data is stored and made a copy, took off with it. You know, so far it is a small theory at best. But I would certainly, if I was in Justin's shoes, be doubling down on all information security about future missions and the footage that is filmed during them.
Well, look, I'm sure they've got technical people on it. Like, they brought you in, didn't they, Slider? So, they've definitely bringing in everyone that they need to have here to sort this one out. So we're backed up.
Yeah, but what about Cestus Pax? Like, we need to tell him what's going on, or, you know, check on him, or I don't know, like, talk to someone to see if, you know, someone's mind controlling him or something.
Well, is Justin out of the meeting yet?
You don't know. He like, the meeting could go for who knows how long, but if you want to
that was a question to Slider.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, she's like, I can slide in there if you want.
Well, look, let's not bother him. He's doing his work. I think that's the first stop that we need to make, though.
Yeah, we probably don't want to talk about this too much whilst we're in this building anyway.
She looks around all like, oh God.
Have another dim sim, love.
These are really good. What's even in these?
No one knows.
Yeah, that's part of the allure. So
they remind me of ketchup chips from home.
You just looked that up, Tash. I know it.
Shh! Don't get in the way of the Twitch magic.
So, she probably can't stick around for too much longer. She's got to, do the next kind of teleport drop off of some kind. Um, what would you two want to be doing now? So whether you want to be staying and speaking to Justin, or there's probably other various kind of T2M or Utopia people all around as well. Or is there anything else that you want to do? It's pretty much up to you guys.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't mind just seeing what the general vibe is amongst the utopian people.
Mm-hmm.
General chit chat. Are they saying anything about what they think of the whole matter, or what's happening with PAX, or anything like that?
Yeah, totally. Let's see. I reckon that probably would benefit from a roll.
Possibly.
I reckon potential things that you could roll would definitely be like empathy.
Uh-huh.
Probably argue persuasion if you're trying to persuade people to,
Yeah, let's
talk
go
to
with
you.
persuasion, because, I'll be wandering around and actually saying, hey, what do you think about all this? What's going on here? You tell me, I'll give you a dim sim.
I want him to be doing that. That's so good. Want a dim sum? Just literally handing them out.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I like that. So what exactly are you trying to find out from people?
What they think of these events. Like, do they think that this is just a big beat up by the government, or do they think that Utopia might have done something dodgy, or do they think that Cestus Pax did something dodgy, or maybe they think he's being set up, framed, miscast, or whatever. That sort of. Where do they stand on this thing?
Cool. And that's just kind of the utopian people there in general? Yeah.
In general, whoever from Utopia is there, because I will be friendly and, buttering them up with dim sims.
Nice.
Perhaps oiling them up with dim sims.
Cool. I reckon, roll that.
All right. Persuasion and manipulation?
Yep. And I reckon +1 enhancement for dim sims.
Yay!
At least. Damn, I want a dim sim.
4 successes.
I'm getting hungry.
Beautiful.
4 successes. Okay. So, that's 4 all up. Okay. You pick up sort of pretty quickly that a lot of the utopian people there are sort of admin people, all the people that actually, it takes a lot of kind of work to make projects like this work. And also there's, kind of political liaisons, sort of, they're kind of more tight-lipped, but their aides and kind of interns and stuff are definitely susceptible to dim sims. And so you pick up that generally the more idealistic among them think that this is a beat up or a misunderstanding, or surely there was something there that will explain all of this really well. The more cynical among them think that it's a beat up, but it's because the government is trying to do something. They don't really want us here. They they don't want to be publicly kind of not working with us, but they don't really want to work with us. They don't want some NGO trying to muscle in and kind of, fight crime on their turf. So that's the kind of, most of the opinions are that, no, we haven't done anything wrong. No, Pax would never do anything wrong. Like, we all know him. He's such a Boy Scout. He's boring with how kind of good and careful he is with everybody.
Yep.
So it's definitely not what it looks like. And lots of them think it's just an accident. And a lot of them think, the government's trying to get us.
Yep. Okay, well, that's good. Like, if the idealists and the cynics both think it's a beat up, that's probably a good indication that's probably a beat up.
Perhaps.
Like, the reasons for it are obviously different, but
yeah. But and also that was 4 successes. So I could probably also say none of them have seen Pax since yesterday, though. Lots of them are mentioning that sort of, kind of without thinking much of it. Like, oh yeah, he's busy. But yeah, like over and over, people in different teams, none of them have been seeing him, and like a lot of them probably assumed that he was with the media people, while the media people assumed that he'd been sent by the ops people to go and save a kid down a well or something like that. But like, he hasn't been seen by any of them.
Yeah.
So, but none of them have sort of kind of twigged on that, really.
It seems to have gone missing, which is, also concerning. If everyone's thinking it's a beat up and he's gone missing, and Justin was obviously a little bit caught out by him going missing, that seems a bit sus to me personally, but I'm not going to just say that to anyone.
Valid, definitely valid. So, so after kind of spending quite a bit of time in doing that, eating a lot of dim sims, you Justin finally comes out of his meeting looking totally tired and deflated. I feel like a large kind of part of this story so far is isn't admin the worst? So I feel like maybe all of this is kind of at least partially inspired by all of us being really tired at work. But continuing on,
we're all over it. Yeah, go on.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
PowerPoints everywhere.
pretty much. I'm sick of meetings. Is what we can all take from this. He is leaving somewhat quickly. It looks like he's kind of leaving with purpose, heading towards the cars, sort of in the car park of the center. But he does see both of you, and he's not slowing or stopping or speeding up either. So if you want to grab him, you can. And yeah, this is your boss, your boss's boss's boss, basically. But
yeah, well, I might actually do that.
Yeah.
You've given everyone else a dim sim. Why not him?
Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Mr. Laragioni, I've saved you a dim sim. What the hell is going on here?
He stops and looks at the dim sim, and he's like, "Is this an Australian thing?"
Yes, they're delicious.
He gives it a go. And then he looks at you saying, what's going on?
What is this beat up? Why are we even here? You don't have to tell me. You're my boss's boss's boss. But here we are. And we notice that Mr. Pax isn't.
He kind of stops, kind of long enough to eat some dim sim, but it's actually totally clearly just because he's trying to, work out what he's going to say to you. And he says, I don't want to alarm anyone, but we don't know where Cestus Pax is right now. That's not the end of the world. We have a global project that operates all over the world, and unless we've got use of Slider at the time, it takes a while to get around everywhere. So it's not necessarily an emergency, but I think we can all agree that Pax perhaps had a bad day yesterday, and we haven't been able to debrief with him yet.
Right. So he didn't show up for the debriefing either?
No. Hence, my busy day today, and my being a little bit evasive with the authorities, but I personally just want to make sure that Cestus is okay, while also wanting to make sure that this World Crime Task Force doesn't go off the rails before it's really even had a chance to start. As you can tell, I'm really busy and I don't actually have all the answers right now. Was there something that you wanted from me? Or
just throwing it out there, like just. I mean, he seemed perhaps a little off in the flight to the mission.
how so?
Just more standoffish than usual. Not himself, basically. Which this is our first mission with him. I'd put that down to this is just him on a mission with people he doesn't know. That's fine. Could be. But could it be something else? Could he have actually been replaced before the mission? He went missing beforehand and got sucked in by a doppelganger, a duplicate.
Like Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
Well, I'm thinking, clones from Spider-Man. Possibly a Doombot.
Is something like that possible?
I mean,
I know
a few months ago I couldn't fly, and here we are. So don't ask me if something's possible, because I have no idea anymore. But yeah, I'm just worried that perhaps you're looking for someone who doesn't exist because that Cestus Pax wasn't Cestus Pax. He may have been replaced beforehand, if you see what I'm saying.
Now you've broken two people in the space of like half an hour. The director is normally like extremely, calm, in control, like extremely kind of charismatic president kind of vibe from him. But you can tell that he looks honestly kind of haunted now. And he says, if that's true, I don't even know what we would do. Could Pax have been killed and replaced?
Well, from all accounts, he's very hard to kill, so I would find
that's what I thought. I was banking on him being impossible to kill.
And you know him better than we do. But, yeah, maybe he's got a weakness. Maybe he's just confined somewhere that he can't get out of. I mean, I agreed. He's also incredibly strong. Let's not deny any of his strengths, right? But something could have happened. And if you're looking for the guy who went missing yesterday, you might be on the wrong track because you're looking for Pax who went missing days earlier. So does Project Utopia have access to anyone who can, I don't know, search better than a few days old for a trail that probably leads through the air? Like, do you have clairvoyance? I don't know. Dowsers? A Pax dowser.
His phone starts buzzing and he looks at it and curses under his breath and says, shit, I have to take this. I will get on this if there's anything to get on. He could be still in Miami sitting on a beach somewhere.
Also true. And look, we're just saying we're here to help. Obviously, you're our boss, so...
Well, can you subtly investigate further? I'm going to be in meetings until I pass out, so I can start.
Subtle is Mrs. Faint's middle name.
Agent Subtle Faint. Name. He's still kind of staring at his phone with that, God, I have to take this right now. But he says, thank you. You can get in touch with me if you need to. Maybe you can get in touch with me. And then he doesn't even kind of finish his sentence and says, okay, sorry, I really have to.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he takes the call and starts walking off to his car. Which gives you the opportunity to, I suppose, decide if and how you want to investigate further. I don't mind if you want to start making these rolls, or if you want to be kind of, in character, kind of making more decisions or discussing. I'm super happy either way. But you have been essentially kind of dumped with perhaps trying to find Pax by default, or trying to find out sort of what happened to him. There are probably there are ways and means to investigate that, I'm sure.
I have an idea. So I'm going to assume that it's probably late afternoon, right? Because government meetings always go for hours on end, right? Interminable.
Yes.
So
I've heard this.
We should probably, arrange to have dinner, get back to our hotel rooms, freshen up, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're looking to investigate something, I happen to have a good friend who's a journalist, and she's in town covering something, so we could meet up with her for dinner.
Man, that sounds great. You've been handing out those dim sims like crazy, and I just need to eat something.
Justin took the last one, sorry.
So dinner is like right on time. Let's do it.
Okay, so you want to go out to dinner with, is that Christine Sonnen?
Yes. I'll give her a call and see if she's free, see if she wants to talk about stuff, because we're in town, she's in town.
Excellent. Okay. So can you tell me a couple of things about Christine? I know that you've known her since basically you were teenagers, most likely. Okay. So yeah, what's she like? Like, she's a political reporter, was it? Or a reporter?
Yeah, political reporter. Let me open up that document. Did I know this down? Yeah, so went to school. So she likes to speak truth to power, but she's unaware of her own privilege, so she's probably a little bit up herself. But with a good heart. She thinks she's doing good. Probably just a little blind.
Okay.
You probably think she's fairly attractive.
Yep. Okay. So, okay, cool.
So, Comet, look, we're meeting this journalist. I've talked with journalists before, and they generally want something in return for anything that they might be willing to give. Can we really trust that she's not going to make us look bad?
Well, I trust her. That doesn't mean you have to. Sure, I understand that journalists are exactly like you say. But on the other hand, she knows people who know people, and if we want to put out feelers, whatever she wants from us is possibly worth it to get the intel of where Pax may be. If she's heard a rumour through whatever that he's in Madrid having a party or something, I don't know.
Look, if it gets me dinner, I think I'm totally happy for you to take the lead on this one. I'll be right there with you.
Yeah, so we should make our way back to the hotel rooms, get ourselves freshened up for dinner. I'll make the phone call to Christine and see if she's available and wants to catch up. Might put a little bit of pressure on. We're only in town for a night or two, so you don't want to put it off till next week if we don't have to. I know that we've just got... Maybe we have some information for interesting things that she might want to know about.
Okay, I reckon No need to roll for the actual phone call. I'm pretty sure like she would easily take your call right away and easily meet with you right away. You're kind of like a huge deal right now. And so, yeah, she quickly kind of moves some things around and can meet you at a restaurant. What kind of restaurant? I want to know. Some kind of dim sum restaurant.
To say you want Chinese ones, or there might be one dim available. It won't be the same. It'll probably be some sort of fresh garbage, not the deep fried, frozen, reheated.
No good.
It'll be dumplings. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, pork buns. Yep.
All I want is to eat at a restaurant right now. This is killing me. Yeah, this is how we know we're playing like an escapist fantasy.
Hey,
And we're eating in a restaurant with people.
There's
how
an
do you
outside.
think we were shaking hands earlier? How do you think I feel? It's 9:10 p.m. and Uber does not deliver to my area. I don't have Uber.
Wow. Oh, that's the worst.
It's outrageous.
Oh man.
What you should do, get it delivered to my house, and then for a small fee of maybe 1 or 2 dumplings, I will drive it all the way to Quinny.
I like it. Entrepreneurial. Okay, so you a short while later, probably not even all that long, you are at a restaurant when Christine comes in. What does she look like as well?
Well, she'll be done very professionally, so she'll just a proper high-class journalist look.
Mm-hmm.
Very clean, neat, brushed, pressed, everything.
And probably about your age as well, which
Yep,
I
should
think
be roughly my age. So
like, is that
late 20s.
Late 20s. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
She
Let's call her a blonde because that's good for journalism.
why not? she sees you in the restaurant and makes a beeline straight for you. Colin, right? Colin, yeah. Colin. It's been too long again.
Christine, g'day. Good to see you.
Good day. Is she presumably she must be Aussie as well then?
Yeah.
I guess. Yep. Cool. I won't do the accent, I guess.
Yeah, go and try not to.
Yeah, totally. It's gonna kill me. She introduces herself to Faint as well.
Yeah, I'll introduce. Yeah. Make all the
How
necessary
do you
introductions.
introduce yourself? Yeah. Because I actually just remembered you actually have a secret identity too, which probably leads into the very important question of how sort of on the job are you two right now, like costumes or sort of
No, I was thinking just like a casual suit.
Okay.
So look, I introduced myself as Tilly. Don't make any allusions to my grandeur and my amazingness. I just happy to meet you, Christine. I've had quite the introduction to your food and beverages over the last few days, and I've got to say, I'm hungry. Let's eat.
She laughs as well. I reckon probably as a a high class journalist type, she's probably absolutely got the Aussie cultural cringe. So she's like, oh, Tim Sims. Ugh. But she knows Colin's into it, absolutely.
Yeah, I might be a bit more down to earth.
Perhaps
she's probably drinking wine. I am drinking the beer.
Definitely. And so after probably not too much of the chit chat, because I reckon she knows that you kind of called her short notice. Mm-hmm. She's already her journalist senses are tingling, and she says, so I'm pretty sure there was a reason why you wanted to see me so quickly. Not
Yeah.
just that you're in and out quick, because you're in and out everywhere pretty quick these days.
Yeah. So.
I didn't even mean that. But I bet she did, because I'm pretty sure she's, yeah, you two
You know what?
are very
Comet is
little
blushing
everywhere.
right now.
I love it. I love it. Yep, she meant that
Oh,
completely intentionally.
look, the last few days have been a right gong show.
I love it. Yeah. She laughs
Okay.
too. I
Yes.
reckon.
So.
I reckon she does too. So yeah. What did she say again? So yeah. What? Yeah. Basically, what's up? Why? Why have you summoned me?
Yeah. So there's been some stuff going down around the old Project U. You see. It turns out old mate Pax may have done a bit of a runner recently. Just wondering if you may have, got any contacts that could put a word out, see if he can be spotted anywhere, or any sign of him.
She's she's instantly kind of hooked in, and she says, "How long was that after your operation yesterday? Everyone's been quite tight-lipped about it right now. I would
Yeah,
love to
there's been a bit of a
know what it
brouhaha
is."
between PU and the government. So obviously I can't
And
go on any official details just yet, but Pax may have been seen doing something that he shouldn't have been, and he hasn't been seen since.
wow, like her ears have like literally perked up.
Yeah.
Um, what what was he doing that he shouldn't have? You
Well, we're not
definitely can't
sure
just
if he
dangle
did
something
it
like that in front of
voluntarily
him,
or
Tom.
via some other thing. Yeah, middle of battle, taking down the bad guys, violence happened. Innocent people got, well, I don't know how hurt they got, but they certainly got scared, if not hurt. This is obviously terrible, and it seems out of character for Pax, according to everyone who knows him. And the fact that he hasn't been seen since has just got us a bit worried that either he has done it and done a runner, or something's happened to him, and we need to find where he is. Either way, you may have some feelers out there, because, yeah, if he's keeping low, then it's hard for someone that famous to keep out of sight completely. Or maybe he's been captured. We don't know. Maybe the bad guys have got into his head. We don't know that either. But hey, if you have any resources, put your nose to the ground.
Wheels are already turning in her head as she says, or starts kind of, almost kind of mumbling to herself, like, names already that she can contact, like, there's, yeah, there's Brian, paparazzi to the Novas, he's a fucking awful man and I hate him, but he would definitely know. And she's running through, some kind of New York outlet people that she could definitely get in touch with. But she still keeps kind of coming back to, yeah, but what did he do? Like, are you looking for him now so that we can question him? I can definitely get some reporters and some cameras to wherever he is, and if you like, I could fly you there, like as soon as we know, we'll have you there an hour later. Is that what you're looking for?
I think that would probably not be ideal uh, without us knowing how he's going to react first. Because, there's a pretty busted up school bus at the heart of this.
she's, she's taking mental notes, possibly actual notes on her phone. Busted school bus. So,
and like it all seems like a bit of a beat up. So not saying anything is real here, but the appearance is terrible. And for him to have done a runner is A, unusual, and B, worrying. So if he's not in the right state of mind, and this was him, turning up on his doorstep with a whole bunch of paparazzi flashbulbs is probably asking for trouble. I'm pretty sure if I turned up and he wanted to pace me, he'd pace me pretty easily as well. So, but better for us to go in than and try and feel things out before pictures and newspaper articles.
I reckon, I feel like that needs a roll.
That's fine.
I think rules-wise, social skill and your path rating makes sense in my head. I'm pretty sure that's what I read for getting a contact or a connection to do what you want.
Yeah, so persuasion and path rating.
Sorry, I meant attribute.
Manipulation and path rating.
That's even better. Let's go with that.
I'm happy with that.
And you do, of course, have momentum too, if you like.
Yes, I will actually spend 3 momentum. Do we have 3 there to spend?
Yeah, you've got.
We do.
Yes. Yeah, I forget how to actually delete these, but I think you've got 1 less than what is showing there.
So we might need. Is it round up or round down?
I'll
do 2. It's fine.
I'm happy to round up as well, though.
All right. Well, I'll go 3. I won't say no.
Excellent.
Boom! Shakalaka.
Ooh, sweet. Okay, that's a good roll. 4 successes. Okay, she's very happy to help you out without having a pile of reporters or a camera in his face as they track him down. But she definitely wants info from you, and she also, whether that's part of the deal or not is probably up to Colin, but she also really, really wants to actually, hang out, not talking work business too. I mean, whether she's serious and whether it will absolutely be work business, but yeah, she's very much like, why don't you call me sometime when you're next around and we can, not talk shop.
They're totally down for that, Christine.
If you guys want, I can just go to the bar and order some more dumplings. I'm happy to do that.
I mean, I'll have another beer while you're up there. Thanks.
I'll send one over.
Well, that's so good.
Chili gets up.
I thought
walks
Comet
to the
would
bar.
be like, no, this is important. It's like, one more, please. Excellent.
Takes a seat. Has another round of drinks sent over to the table.
Nice. Brilliant. Okay, so that probably ends that scene there, while you probably have to wait for her to sort of get some wheels in motion to try to see whether she can track him down. That's where we left that, right? So you're looking for packs now. Not looking into the past.
Yeah. Where are you located right now around the world? If there's any sighting, any rumor, any hint, maybe check the Fortean Times or Flat Earth Society web pages.
Marvelous. Okay, so let me just pull this up. Okay, so that probably is the rest of the night, most likely, or until sort of pretty late at night. Finally, hours later, you get a a text with some photos in it too from Christine. And it says, perhaps we took this footage in Miami, and as of an hour and a half ago. And you scroll down and see sort of, somewhat blurry, kind of far away camera footage of Cestus Pax in a swimming pool. So once again, swimming pools come back in a kind of like a resort, I suppose. Like it's like another hotel. It's definitely not the same one.
Yeah.
But he is there with his youth fiber outfit on, but kind of unstrapped. So it's only kind of covering his legs. So his chest is out, sitting in a pool, drinking. Like kind of cocktail in one hand, and a mobile phone in the other, just kind of scrolling and relaxing. And there's no one else around in that area. So that's not clear whether it's like a VIP area or it's just been cleared out or it's like closed. But she sends you some GPS coordinates too.
Champion.
And
I will
says,
wake Agent Faint if I'm not with her already.
Yeah, I reckon it's late. So yeah.
Oh, look, I'm not going to wait around for you. I take some dumplings to go and head back to the hotel room with those babies.
So yeah, basically, that's her message. That's where he is right now. You owe me a non-work dinner.
Deal.
And I guess it's to you guys if you want to be traveling there now. You definitely have access to Utopia, kind of services like flights and stuff like that easily.
Well, yes, I was going to see what Agent Frank thinks, but I think we head there now. Because if he wants to get away, he'll fly anywhere. So if we catch him while he's not flying around.
Mm-hmm.
Do we confirm when these pictures were taken? Like within the last hour or so?
Yeah. An hour and a half ago is when they took him.
Are we in Washington?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. So short flight away. Presumably he could still be there by then.
Exactly. And it's pretty late at night, right? So
yeah.
Presumably he's settling in for the night, not just having a drink near a pool and then flying off again. So, yes.
Look, and I think we should probably get in contact with someone to let them know how the payoff of all of your hard work tonight.
Yeah, so we should, I guess we should let Justin know.
Yep. His phone rings out. He's presumably on the other line. But if you want to send him a message,
send him a message. Think we may have found Pax heading to Miami.
Excellent.
In this situation, we'd get our people to call his people.
But also keeping it somewhat on the down low as well.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay, well,
so we're going to need transport to get down there because I don't think my 60 or 100 miles an hour is going to cut it.
Slowly. Yeah, no, not really. But yeah, you easily source that. I don't even think you have to roll with your positions and all of your wealth as well.
Yeah.
combined, you guys are filthy rich. So you easily head down there, and within
And I still get to claim it on work expenses.
yes. And all those dumplings too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It was a work dinner.
Yep, it's true. So a few hours later, you have flown back to Miami, landed, can easily make your way to the resort where he is, which is pretty much another of the many hotels in the whole kind of South Beach area. How do you want to approach him if that's what you want to do? This one's not really high up, so this is more like a ground floor.
Yeah.
Huge pool.
What sort of class of establishment does it look like? Is this like a 5-star motel, or is he slumming it?
Yeah, it's high class. It's not like a VIP room like you were last time with, armed guards, but yeah, very classy place.
It's got to be nice enough that you'd want to get in the pool.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's really clear when you approach that it looks like the whole kind of, beachside kind of, pools, kind of, lounge chairs area is all kind of closed up. So that looks like maybe the place is closed, or maybe it has been closed off in that area. So there aren't kind of, people everywhere.
What I reckon is that we probably need someone who can maybe go invisible and walk through walls.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know anyone like that, Agent Faint?
Let's do it.
Because I reckon head in there, stay invisible, just scope him out, see if there's anything, dangerous, whatever's going on, and then come back, report, and if it seems like it's safe, I will, be happy to knock on the door and say, what the fuck's going on with you?
Yep. Let's do it. So I am activating phasing and cloak.
Okay. So how much do they cost all up in quantum points?
Let's go check that out.
Let's see. Cloak costs
Phasing is
1.
2.
Yep, 2.
So 3 all up. Nice.
Done.
Okay. So, I feel like that gives you 3 enhancements to any defense rolls and to stealth related actions. So probably do need you to roll to presumably, I guess, sneak into that area, just sneak up on Pax. See, that's where I guess larceny makes sense as what the role would be, but you don't have any larceny.
No larceny.
But you do go completely immaterial and you're invisible, so...
It's hard to knock over or make sound with my footsteps if I don't have footsteps.
It's true. Which I guess is why you've got the 3 enhancement, but then I guess maybe...
how does his super sense feel about invisible, immaterial things?
He doesn't have super senses, actually. So he's not quite Superman. I don't know. I feel like you still need to roll something, though.
That's crazy talk. Invisible and
I spent my points.
intangible.
Yeah, no, that is true. Yeah, that is true. Okay, why not? We'll let you go with this. You enter with the premises, so you're you're phasing kind of, through the fences, through the walls, out to the area where Pax is. Even like phasing through the chairs. So you're just walking straight towards him. How close do you want to get?
Oh, look, no closer than I need to be. Prefer to even stay away if it means that I can listen in or not have any risk of impacting what might be going on in the room.
Okay.
If it's anything, particularly intimate, I'm going to move or leave.
Yeah. We're here to observe him, not that.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Okay, so
I guess we're after any indication of his state of mind, really.
Yeah. So if I could describe that in one word, it is probably relaxed. He's listening to some kind of experimental ambient electronica quite loudly. And he is sipping from a margarita that it looked like he's probably made himself, because he's got the whole kind of, set up near him on like the concrete kind of, spa steps. And he is, playing on his phone, sort of, like basically scrolling, kind of laughing at things, liking, click, like, chuckle. He looks like he's having a grand old time, really. And, kind of, beating his head to the music. Obviously has no idea that you are anywhere near him.
Kind of
what,
like
about 3 a.m?
Yeah. He's like 3 now. Like
My-
it's good to be Cestus Pax, I guess.
Yeah.
look, I'm just observing. I'm not going to say anything, but really inside what Tilly's feeling is something akin to how a parent might feel. What do you mean? We've been worried about you all day.
I love it.
You're here having a good old time. You couldn't have called, texted. That's the monologue I'm prepping as I'm just observing.
Okay. So yeah.
I can sit here for a while, can't I?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Can you actually give me a roll of
Yep.
culture and cunning, maybe?
Yeah, sure. I can. I don't know how good that roll will be.
Or intellect actually works probably just as well. And probably works better, actually, because you've got all the time up your sleeve that you want, because he honestly has no idea that you're there.
And I'm not going to do anything that shows that I'm here until I have some obvious reason to do so. Oh my goodness, 3 successes.
Nicely done. Okay.
You roll 2 1s though. Like, does that?
No, that doesn't make any difference.
They don't cancel
if you roll no
successes.
No. I'm so
Oh.
pleased. I hate that rule so much. So, you're essentially almost kind of looking over his shoulder, completely intangible, invisible, and you see that he is literally scrolling Instagram, and sort of when he's not on that, he's scrolling TikTok, and he is looking at
Hang on a minute.
The TikTok algorithm doesn't know that this guy is a Nova. They're not, he's not getting any current events or anything like that through the algorithm.
It looks like
I might spend a little bit of time on TikTok.
How old is Pax?
Good question. You actually don't know. You've never asked him. He looks pretty kind of thoroughly, 30s, 40s, like maybe even more, but just, keeping himself well. But yeah, his TikTok feed, as you can see, is mostly kind of makeup tutorials, fashion related, a lot of really beautiful people. I mean, that's from my understanding, that is what TikTok is in general. That, and then people doing nails and discussing serious social issues, but that's not what he does.
I thought it was basically K-pop stands, but
yeah, true.
Oh man, you guys need to spend some time on TikTok. It's amazing.
I don't think I do.
Oh man. And then he's back to Insta, which is basically a lot of the same thing. There's a lot of clothes, a lot of once again, more gorgeous people, a lot of specifically, you notice on that there's a lot of what seems like actual kind of content from actual models, like supermodels. They're discussing sort of their trips, their current kind of runway tours, all maybe not what you would have expected from Cestus Pax in general. From his general kind of vibe that he gives off is that he's busy eating apple pie all day and saluting the flag. Not this. But still, he has no idea that you're there, and he's just having a lovely old time.
As someone who can observe people in their, natural environment without, them knowing, I think one thing that Tilly's had to develop is a non-judgmental
Nice. I like that
approach to what people expose to her involuntarily.
Yeah, so she's a very kind and understanding voyeur, is what I'm hearing.
Well, either that or, it just helps her poker face when she sees them later.
Well, high resolve, that explains a lot. Do not sugar. Okay. So Comet is probably still, I guess, off the premises, or, kind of a bit away still.
Outside,
most likely, I guess, kind of wondering what's going on, wondering what Faint is doing, if she's all right. Is there anything that you're doing while you're there, Comet?
Given the time of day it is, I'll probably just try and stay out of sight so I'm not drawing attention to myself. Actually, maybe I will fly. People won't be looking up in the sky.
Ooh.
So I'll raise myself off the street.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
And keep an eye out for anything unusual, but basically I'm just waiting for Agent Fate to come back and report.
Okay.
Military, I'm used to the waiting for people to report.
Yep. Yep. No, I like that a lot. Okay. So,
I'm kind of waiting to have something to report.
He honestly looks like he's going to be like this for a while to come. So if you want to wait for who knows how long, he might finish at some point, but also Novas are pretty tough. He could probably just keep drinking and chilling for who knows how long.
Well, then I guess I turn tail and go and report in.
Okay. I don't mind if you want to do that in character or out.
I'm looking over his shoulder at the 50th nail tutorial. Done up my own, which are, not visible anyway. I guess I've been neglecting those. Kind of look around a little bit, and I kind of take a walk around the room as I'm moseying on out. Is there anything around the room that's of interest, an open suitcase, papers,
Okay.
abandoned laptop.
Not quite. Some kind of diary?
Yeah,
No.
he didn't lock his PC the last time he was in, that sort of.
You can confirm that there are no people here, and it actually looks like the resort itself has been closed up. So presumably, it has been closed, or Pax himself has rocked up and asked them to shut it down. Probably with a little bit of kind of research, you could find that out easily. But he doesn't seem to have anything with him apart from what he left the operation with. So literally, like, somewhere kind of on a chair somewhere in there is his earpiece that he had in during that whole thing, and literally all he had was his U-fiber like outfit, so didn't even have his wallet or anything like that. Probably doesn't really need it much. He could probably get whatever he wants, and everyone knows who he is, so he doesn't need an ID. But as you watch for a little bit longer, you definitely don't find anything else kind of lying around. But he does look a bit more animated as you kind of slide back over, and now he's not just kind of scrolling, but he's actually kind of texting on his phone. Really, once again, he's texting like a digital native more than like a middle-aged dude. So he's not like he's very like some people. And if you want, you could probably even look over his shoulder there without another roll either.
Well, I think I should do that.
The contact that he's texting is only in his phone as SF, and you can't see kind of that far up, obviously. So you can only see the last 2 or 3 messages. But the last one, or the most recent one, is him saying, I don't know what else you want me to do here. I'm bored as shit. And then the next one up before that, so from the other person, was just sit tight. And then the last one, which is the last one that you can only see kind of the last couple of lines of, was getting to be too much. I can't do this much longer. And yeah, now he's just kind of sent that most recent one, and then he's just kind of sitting on it. And then his last message is read, and then he's just kind of waiting for a response, and he waits a little bit longer, and it still hasn't come.
I hate it when people do that.
Yeah, it is the worst.
I feel for you, man.
Super
feel
happy.
for you. Okay. Well, do I wait? No. Look, there's 2 of us in this room stressing over when they're going to reply. I'm just going to leave.
Nice.
Yeah, so I walk out of the room.
Okay.
Or shimmy, glide, however I want to go, because no one can see me strut.
Nice.
And yeah,
I kind of want her to moonwalk everywhere she goes.
Yeah.
Because why not? Sorry.
Look, I've probably had enough beer and dumplings for it. So, yeah. So I guess I'm gonna duck out at least just to
Okay.
report in and see what else we can get. He's probably Mr. Soldier's probably gonna tell me off for not persevering longer. But that not getting
Well,
a
Comet.
reply after they've seen the message is just torture.
Yeah, man. And yeah, you need to give him some space after that, I think. So Comet, you most likely flying above see her kind of leave that area.
Yeah, as soon as you become
And
visible
Pax
again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, of course. You won't see her leave that area until she becomes visible. Good point. Cool. So yeah, you can both rendezvous if you want to.
Yep.
I think that's the objective.
Pax surfing TikTok doesn't seem right at all.
Well,
Nail
no.
videos.
Look, that guy does have a nice manicure on him.
But TikTok nail video nice?
No, they're not. They're not that.
Well,
Like-
look, this is all we've got for now. Do we want to? I mean, we're his buds. We can go in and say hi. Do you want me to slide back into the room and you knock on the door?
Yeah,
He'll only think that you're the one that you're the only one there.
I agree. He only needs to think that one of us is there, so you can go invisible. I also think if he's bored and he's not expecting company, I'm going to find a 24-hour bottle-o, grab a carton, and turn up on his doorstep with a carton, say, hey, let's get into this.
I love it. Once again, that's going to get you an enhancement, Nick. Very good.
+1 enhancement for a slab of beer.
I think it makes perfect sense. I
Surely
mean,
it's plus 24.
Well, it depends what beer, though.
12 each. 12 each. We need to write that up.
It's so good. Okay, so a short while later, you are, I guess, probably strutting in with a six-pack under your arm or a slab over your shoulder.
Yes. So rocking up. And so we'll make sure that Agent Faint is lovely and invisible, intangible, and inside to watch from the other side. Knock on Pax's door.
Okay. He Faint sees him kind of start, like completely surprised. Kind of does a double take and kind of realizes that's the door. And he climbs out, kind of leaving his suit kind of like half off, so only legs, and then kind of the rest is kind of hanging behind him like a tied up shirt, basically. And he walks to the door, and before he opens it, he kind of sighs and kind of straightens his face, kind of like, then opens up. Now cut to Comet. The door swings open and Pax is standing there, tall, like, 6 something tall, like hugely well built, bald, kind of perfect specimen, basically. He sees you and says, "What are you doing here, soldier?"
G'day, mate. I heard you were bored. You want to have a couple of beers? And I'll just edge my way through.
He is, yeah, definitely taken aback, and you walk straight in.
Clunk it down. Chunk.
He closes the door after you and just kind of closes. It then follows you and says,
I
what?
pass him a beer.
He's, he's a little bit thrown by this. And he says, how did you know I was here?
Grapevine. Seems we have mutual friends. Glug,
He
glug,
definitely,
glug, glug, glug.
he definitely looks concerned by that. You don't need to roll to see that he's like, like kind of worry flashes across his face. So yeah, he's holding the beer. He's not drinking it. But he's just kind of watching you as, I guess, like you're like what, sitting down drinking beer now, or?
Well, start at the little kitchenette area, and then if he's not doing anything except looking surprised, I'll make myself at home on the couch, turn on the TV.
I'm going to keep the beer cold.
yeah. Obviously, going to put some in the fridge.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
I'm going to hover around his phone just in case any notifications pop up I might want to catch a quick glance at.
Ooh, I would say he probably has his phone with him.
Oh, that's fine too.
Okay.
Just in proximity.
Yeah. No, definitely.
What else am I going to do? Watch them drink beer?
Yeah, this is a great night. You really are the perfect wingman, though.
I'm not a
voyeur.
At least not a dodgy third wheel.
Yeah, exactly. True. So,
there's got to be a wrestling channel on. I'll flick through till I find wrestling.
Wow. Okay. He kind of heads closer to the TV, still, deeply unsure, but he kind of opens up the beer. He doesn't sit down. And he is, just kind of staring at you. Goes, how did the rest of the mission go? The debrief, I presume?
Debrief fucking sucked. It was boring as hell. Shit went down. It was stupid. Absolutely fucking beat up stupid. How are you feeling about it? You're good. You did a runner.
he I won't make you roll, but he kind of starts speaking a little bit more like the Pax that you come to know. So he says, I needed a moment to collect my thoughts after that operation. I think it probably could have gone a little better than it did. And so I was just considering, ruminating on how it all went. I think we need to work on our teamwork more. If we are to be showing the world what Novakind can do to make it a better, more just, more safe world, we really need to be showing that in ourselves as well. And I mean that for you, for me, for Agent Faint. We're all in this together, right?
Mate, you're talking corporate speak. I'm here to have a couple of drinks with someone after we did a mission. It's cool, bro. Kick back and relax. Not here for corporate speak. Like I've served in the military and it's shit after a mission. You need some time to wind down. You've had some time. Now you need to let your hair. Well, maybe not your hair down.
And that takes him a sec, and then he kind of chuckles.
You seemed bored, so
he finally takes a slug of that beer and goes, "Well, I can't lie about that. Bored as shit." And then he sits down. He takes a few more slugs, I guess, as you watch the wrestling. He doesn't seem all that into that, but you probably wouldn't be that surprised by that. Pax hasn't sort of talked about wrestling before. He's, surely he's more like baseball and American football, probably.
Football.
Oh
yeah.
I tell you what, if I see anyone in the wrestling with a mask on, I'm pointing it out and saying, look at that idiot with a mask.
Nice. he starts to say something to that, actually, about how, no one really needs a secret identity. If you're good at what you do, you should be able to wear that proudly and show your face as it may be.
Too right.
Alongside all your actions. And then he starts kind of trailing off and saying, people don't always necessarily respect what you do, but they can at least recognize the skill with which you do it and the daring that you show. People, and he starts kind of opening up and kind of rambling on, like, people kind of put a bit too much stock in showing kind of perfection, showing the right thing, doing the right thing. Sometimes, like, I think people should be happy with doing the clever thing, doing the right amount of work, and then no more than that. He starts kind of showing, like a side of himself that you haven't seen, a side that is a little bit more kind of chilled out, but a little bit more pragmatic and a little bit more kind of, I guess you could call it selfish, as in, you do what you want, and like, fuck the haters kind of attitude. Which you have definitely never heard Pax ever say before, ever.
But I will play along into that. I will, give him all the encouragement he needs, be on his side. I'll regale him with some military story along the same thing. We were in there doing something shit, and we need to be recognised for the skills we brought to it, even though the job was shithouse. There's no recognition in it, but we did it anyway, and we should be... People should realise we did it with skill and efficiency, despite the mission itself being something we had no control over.
But also, like, you got paid shit all for that, right?
Exactly.
So why were you even doing that?
Brainwashed, I guess. I mean, I was in the army because that was a way to serve my country.
He almost kind of, sort of kind of snorts and says, macho bullshit.
Totally is.
He looks at you and kind of sees you in a different way too, and says, like, you're not at all what I thought you were going to be like.
Well, I don't know how to take that. Glug, 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 glug.
You can take that any way you want, really, he says, and finishes his beer off and says, "You want another?"
Yeah, absolutely.
He gets up and walks over, and as he does, you realize quickly that he kind of runs a hand over your shoulder as he gets up, and then he kind of pulls it back really quickly. And then he goes and gets that beer, and then he comes back with a couple more and brings it to you, and then sits back down and goes back to watching the show.
Cheers, mate. Glug, glug, glug.
Agent Faint rolls her eyes.
Oh dear.
The eternal wingman. So yeah, that continues on for a little longer, I guess. I reckon you both have mega stamina, so it's not like there's really much chance of either of you getting particularly drunk, really, unless you like go really hard.
I don't think this booze would do it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But as time goes on a little longer, it's like who knows what o'clock now. It's like easily 4, 5, probably not that long.
Yeah.
Until the sun starts coming up. He kind of looking a little more bleary after having not even slept either. Kind of looks back over at you, and says, "Can you tell me something, Colin? What?
Sure thing.
Why did you join the project?"
Well, after I erupted, it was just an opportunity to do good, Maybe it was more brainwashing, but I've read a lot of superhero comics as a kid. This was holy shit. I've got fucking powers. I can fly. What can I do? And yeah, Eon got in touch and said, "Hey, come work for Project Utopia. Make the world a better place." Oh, and it pays better than the military bullshit I was on, obviously. I'm not going to say I'm doing this for the love of humanity, but I'm not doing it for the love of humanity.
He
the
laughed.
Love of my fellow man, maybe.
I'm not sure whether you're going somewhere with that, Nick. I don't know.
Manipulation 3. I'm getting him to talk.
He doesn't seem to be picking up what you're putting down quite there, but he does kind of a laugh along at certain points when you talk about it's not just the doing good, pays better than the army, all that sort of stuff. And he says, and he sort of leans forward, says, "Have you thought about De Vries? You can put another digit on your pay scale if you started working for the other guys. Have you ever thought about it?"
Not really. I mean, I've only just joined Utopia. The whole thing's new to me. Yeah, really, De Vries offers that much. Christ. They must have more money than God.
They're working on it, I can tell you. The project, from what I can see, definitely makes money, but they're trying to run a non-profit. They're trying to pour that money right back in, pay people what they need to attract the best and the brightest. But De Vries gets paid a lot of money by a lot of people to do all kinds of things that the project would never do. And so that they name their own prices, and anyone can get in on that if they just don't mind doing something a little bit shady here and there. And I mean, you seem like the type that seems all right with that. Like, am I right?
I'm not going to lie, I've done some shady shit. That's how it rolls in the military. I was Spec Ops for far too long. So would I do it for DeVries for an extra digit? Yeah, maybe I'd consider it. But also, I do like the idea that we might just be doing good here with Project Utopia. Like, yeah, help my fellow man. There are some good benefits. I'm not really one for the publicity. Honestly, I don't need a camera in my face. That's not the sort of shit I like. But yeah, I like Utopia's ethos, shall we say. But, I wouldn't not do DeVries' work. I'd certainly not rule it out.
He kind of looks at you for a while longer, kind of, almost veering into kind of uncomfortable silence. And then he says, cool. Yeah, good chat. And then he sort of sits back and finishes the rest of his beer. And then, after another kind of veering into awkward silence, he goes, ugh, it's getting pretty late. I should probably catch a couple hours sleep, and then, turn back into work tomorrow, I suppose.
Yep, I'm hearing you. It's been a long couple of days. Anyhow, I'll get up. I'll drain my beer and put it in the bin. Pat him on the back. Sleep well, mate. I will catch you next time you're at work.
Yeah. You too, Colin.
I'll make sure my hand lingers just a little longer than nice. Two can play that game.
I feel like that probably can get you a roll if you want to. I reckon manipulation, persuasion probably makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I'm down with that.
I mean, I don't know what your scores are in there, but yeah, not that bad.
Not great, not awful. Well.
Oh well. Okay. It doesn't kind of seem to be vibing on that now.
That's fine. He's drunk-ish. I'm drunk-ish.
Yeah, and he shakes your hand kind of,
gruffly.
Yeah, kind of gruffly, a little bit more into kind of his usual persona, a little bit more. Yep. I'll see you on Monday, basically. And he sees you out the door.
Good catch up, mate. Sleep well.
What does Faint do during this time?
I'm gonna hang back. I just, that was a very interesting conversation, and there may or may not be something that he needs to report in. So I'm just gonna hang back and see him off to bed.
Okay. He very shortly after seeing Comet off, he yanks his phone out and first up sees that there hasn't been another response yet. Unbelievable. And he sends another message saying, I'm serious. I can't stay here much longer. It is getting way too hot now. you've got one more day to do what you've got to do, and then I am gone. And gone is in caps. And then he throws his phone down and heads off to bed.
Face up, I hope.
Ooh.
Can I roll a lucky die or something?
Why not? I'll say face up. After he's gone to bed, sort of not too long after, you're watching as the phone lights back up with the 3 dots. And then a moment later, the SF replies saying, give me 6 hours, that's all I need. And then it goes. And I feel like if we want to, it kind of doesn't end on an action point, but this could be an all right time to stop for the night.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's good.
There wasn't punching in here. Yeah, definitely suspense. There wasn't punching this session. I thought there was going to be some punching.
I think we just went completely the opposite way. It was like, let's stretch all those muscles.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it definitely went directions that I was not expecting at all.
You and me both.
But I mean, I'm good. Let's go. A whole new dimension, which kind of makes Comet's potential love triangles turn into love squares.
Jesus, that's complicated. I'm gonna need to watch more Shortland Street.
But that I really like that we had a complete action episode and then a complete no action.
But character development.
Yeah.
Like I engaged with Nick. That was really yay. And then I just facilitated everything else for him.
But she's so good at that. She's very good at that. And like I really liked that you all kept doing things that were like, I thought that I had prepped way too much and thought about way too many possibilities, knowing that a bunch of them wouldn't get picked up, which is totally fine. Like I like having multiple ways to get to potential kind of paths. But you didn't take that many of them at all and just forged completely new ones. It's totally cool by me, but cool.
Damn player characters.
Yep, totally. And I predicted that before the game even started, and then it went even further out than I thought. So it's cool. I like that. I actually really like that. So that was really cool. I think next week, I think could possibly be the finale. I think it depends how fast things move. I think perhaps there could be combat next time. Perhaps I said that this time, which might slow things down, but who knows?
Probably depends on how many cases of beer Nick throws into it.
Yeah, that's right.
True. Maybe everything can just be solved by beer and dim sims, and no one has to fight at all. Which honestly, I would play that game as well. So, but like I reckon we can probably finish up now, unless there was anything anyone else want. Oh, we probably want to talk XP, but we could probably talk about that offline, I think.
Yep. All the XPs for us.
All of it.
Well, there's definitely a bunch.
I think I managed to complete my 2 short terms. So that was discovering a lead on why Pax is behaving out of character.
Yep.
And phase into a place and discover some helpful information.
Definitely. You definitely did that. And out of interest, what is Agent Faint currently thinking sort of is the reason why Pax is behaving out of character?
Oh God, no idea. So Pax is either an undercover agent or maybe Comet had it right to begin with, and he's been totally replaced by a doppelganger that is just appearing to be him and can somehow replicate his powers, but otherwise, you know, deep down has a way different personality. So just looking forward to getting to know the real Pax, I guess.
Interesting. Does Comet have any ideas as well, or?
Well, I might suspect that he's probably gay, and he might be trying to hide that, and somebody has found out about it and is blackmailing him because his persona, his public persona, is definitely not gay, and he's trying to keep it hidden in the closet. So there's a bit of blackmailing going on, saying, you do this for us, then go sit out for a while, let us do our thing, or else we will announce to the world that you have a secret boyfriend or something.
Interesting. All valid possibilities. Maybe it's all of them.
It could be all of them. He's
Or
been
none of
replaced
them.
by a doppelganger who is secretly gay, and he's getting blackmailed into doing things as Pax.
Whoa. That might be too complex for even my storylines. But we'll see.
Yeah.
All
right.
Awesome.
Well,
cool.
Thank you all for watching. All 13 of you now. Wow.
Woo.
Ending on a
Was it
strong
because
note.
of the potential romance? Is that what did it?
I think so. I think it's the gameplay moving through a case of beer. That's
Nice.
definitely a strong point.
Well, yeah, so I guess, yeah, we'll finish up. Thank you for watching. If you, we never even said that last time either. If you want to sort of follow us or kind of chat to any of us online, our deets are on the screen now. If there's anything that anyone wants to plug or anything as well, I don't, but other people might.
Not for now.
No.
No,
Cool.
I'm terribly boring, so.
True. So.
Oh yes, yes. So this is Australia. We are coming to you from Australia on our amazing Australian NBN.
Yeah, we're not putting these accents on, actually.
Yes. Yep, it's true. We have the NBN this time. We have the internet.
That's it.
Yeah,
cool.
righto.
So, yep, we'll sign off now. We'll see you next week. Definitely next week.
Next Wednesday it is. Bye all.
Bye.